Today I did my first workout of a 6-week cycle aimed at improving my one arm strength, and it didn't go as planned. I'll show you what I mean. Alright, what's going on everyone? Today I'm going to be taking you through the first workout of my one arm pull-up 6-week cycle that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to throw the workout up on the side over here, but let's go through it really quickly. The first workout that I'm going to do, and the priority for today, is going to be the assisted one arm pull-up with the pulley system. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do 3 sets of 4 pull-ups on each side. I'm going to be taking off 30 pounds, so I'm going to use a 30-pound dumbbell on the other side of the pulley, and I'm going to be doing this every 2 minutes. So basically, it's going to be 6 rounds of 2-minute cycles. So I'll do 4 pull-ups on my right arm, 4 pull-ups on my left, rest 2 minutes, back to the right. So it's going to be a total of 12 one-arm pull-ups on each side. After that, I'm going to take a 5-minute rest, and then I'm going to go right into one-arm lock-offs. So I'm going to do 5 of these on each side, and I'm going to hold for 7 seconds at body weight. Normally, if I were to do this as the priority, I would be adding weight, but because this is going to be after the pulleys, I'm going to just do a body weight. I'm going to do a little shorter than I would normally go. Okay, let me jump in here for a second. Almost immediately, I felt this really weird and uncomfortable tension in my right pec and in my shoulder. I tried to push through a little bit, but something didn't feel right, so I dropped. So my first thought was maybe the load was just too intense after doing the assisted one-arm pull-ups. So I went over, I grabbed a band, I threw that over the bar, and I tried the exercise again. And again, it really did not feel right. And considering that I was using a band, and normally when I use a band, I could hold for like 10 seconds, something clearly was not feeling good at all, and something clearly was not right. So I dropped down and I decided to just scrap the workout. This sucked. So this meant that I didn't do the rest of the reps of the lock-offs, and I cut out the campus board. Campus board is typically pretty intense on my shoulders, especially when I'm doing big reaches. So I just didn't want to put my shoulders through any extra tension that just might make this worse. And then with the pull-ups, instead of doing 5 minutes of 10 reps each minute, I just did 5 minutes of 5 reps each minute. I still want to get blood moving. I still want to get my body moving because even if it was like not an injury, but something that's, just a little tight, just getting blood moving and getting those muscles moving is going to be good for it. So I kept it super, super light. I just did 5x5s essentially. And then I just called the workout right then and there. I was definitely pretty frustrated with this. I mean, I was really excited to get this 6-week cycle started. So to start off this way was definitely disappointing. But this stuff also doesn't happen just like randomly out of the blue. And I think it happened for a combination of reasons. First, I definitely did not warm up properly. I jumped right into the assisted one-arm pull-ups after only doing 2 climbs and then maybe a couple of shoulder shrugs and a couple of pull-ups, but really I didn't do that much of a warm-up. I kind of just jumped into the workout, which is just not good, especially when you're doing stuff that's like really heavy strength and like really strenuous. I really needed to take the proper time to like warm up everything, activate the shoulders, get the tendons moving, really like take care of my body. The second reason is I actually did the one-arm pull-up test about 3 weeks ago, and then I took some time off. I did a lot of backpacking in Yosemite. Yosemite. That's where I got this beer. That was a stupid thing to say. Of course, it's where I got my beer mug. But the point is, I did this workout about 3 weeks after I did the initial test. And I really did not do a lot of pull-ups or any sort of like pulling motion. And considering I had just done this workout off of a weighted pull-up 6-week cycle as well, I think that I lost a decent amount of strength, or at least some amount of strength in my one arms during this time. And this kind of leads into the third reasons. I think the progressions that I did, especially in the later supplemental exercises, were just way too hard. I definitely underestimated how fatigued my muscles were going to be after doing the assisted one-arm pull-ups. So next time I do this kind of workout, I'm definitely going to just dial everything back in terms of intensity and just up the volume so that I get in like high amount of reps. However, there is good news. Later in the week, today to be exact, yesterday from when this gets published. I did the second workout of the week. So I'm doing 2 workouts a week for 6 weeks. So as part of my second workout, I basically just did the back half of the first workout. So I did 1-arm lock-offs, I did campus board, and then I did some pull-ups. But again, because I'm sort of like unsure where my shoulder is at and I don't want to jump into anything too quickly, I kind of dialed everything back. So I still did 5 sets of the 1-arm lock-off at body weight, but instead I did only for 5 seconds each. For the campus board, I basically just did 4 rounds of 1-4 and then max reach. On my left arm, I was able to get 1-4-7 pretty consistently. On my right arm, I was not able to get 1-4-7. I was only able to get 1-4-6. It's a bummer, but not surprising. I don't know why. My right arm is like significantly weaker than my left arm, so I definitely have a lot of work to do there. And then on the pull-ups, instead of doing 5 rounds of 10 pull-ups per minute, I did 3 rounds of 10 pull-ups per minute. Again, just to dial things back. I don't know. It was a high gravity day. 5 just seemed like way too many, so I only stuck with 3. So overall, the first week was a bit disappointing, to be honest, but I got some good learnings out of it. That's sort of the point of this 6-week cycle, is to like, especially with 1-arm workouts, it's hard to know exactly like what each exercise should be at. At least I find it challenging. So that's kind of the point of this whole 6-week cycle, is to really dial in the workouts so that I can reproduce this like consistently, and I could do several other like 6-week cycles to improve my 1-arm strength. So I know that I'm going to keep the intensity of the primary workout, which will mostly be the assisted 1-arm pull-up, and then occasionally I'll be doing 1-arm lock-off with, hopefully with weight, as I start to improve again. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to just dial back the intensity of all the supplemental workouts and just increase the volume in those. So with only 5 weeks and 10 workouts of this cycle left, I'm going to take a couple of days off before going really hard next week for week 2. I'll probably still climb and do general fitness. Actually, I will definitely still climb and do general fitness just to keep my body moving, and because I fucking love fitness. I don't need to explain that to you. But yeah, next week I'm excited to make some improvements. I'm excited to, you know, really get back into the groove and get some really solid workouts in. So that's all I got for my first update of the 6-week cycle. If you missed the initial 1-arm pull-up test, click over here to this video, and I will show you exactly where my starting point was 3 weeks ago. If you want to see more of the day-to-day workouts that I'll be doing, you know, go follow me on Instagram. Other than that, cheers, folks.